What's up YouTube? This is B-Side Investing. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please feel free to like and subscribe. And today what we're going to do is we're going to look at DigiHost technologies. So currently they're up, they were way up above 40%, but right now they're at 38% up today. And we're going to look at their recent news of acquiring 10,000 BTC miners from Northern Data AG, and we're gonna look at the potential New York State Bitcoin mining ban. And so before we get started, I just want to clarify a little disclaimer that I am invested in DigiHost, and I've been invested for a few months now, I want to say, and my average cost is around 218. I could have loaded the boat up when the dip happened around 118, 120, but my strategy changed to focus on crypto altcoin season. So right now, so we'll just leave it at that. And that doesn't mean that I'm not bullish on these companies. It's just my strategy changed to the altcoin season. Now take advantage of that. So it does look really tempting for me to buy the dip right now, but they're currently way up 40%. So anyways, let's see. So the news today we have, so DigiHost announces deal with Northern Data AG acquiring 10,000 Bitcoin miners and increasing hash rate by 925 petahash. Okay, so what I also want to say is that this video might be about 25 to 30 minutes long. I'll try to keep it short, but there's so much to go through. Also with the New York State crypto ban. So just strap in, get some coffee, and let's do this. So usually when I do these videos, I usually do the follow-up. I just want to see how the market reacts to the news. So right now we're looking at a really good, healthy, really great, up to 40% gain. So alright, so let's get into it. So they're acquiring approximately 10,000 miners of the most technologically advanced, high-performing Bitcoin miners. So the increase will be about 925 petahash to 1.145 exahash by the end of the year. Currently, they have about 200 petahash, which is really low among the miners that I have here, and they hodl about 309 BTC. So and the delivery, like I said, it's about the end of the year, so between August and December of this year. So it is really good that it's happening this year. So definitely taking advantage of the BTC price. So the miners have been sourced from Northern Data AG, and the company is a leading infrastructure supplier for BTC miners and other high-performing computing infrastructure solutions. So this agreement, there's still room for more miners. So let's look at right here. So pursuant to the terms of the purchase agreement, the company has concurrently entered into a hosting agreement with Northern Data, and whereby Northern Data will provide service to the company, including the installation and hosting of the miners in proprietary pre-manufactured performance-optimized mobile data center, which will be located in DigiHost, their Digifactory 1. So right here. And this is still an advanced discussion to expand the purchase agreement beyond the initial 10,000 miners up to a total of 30,000 miners, which will give them an approximately hash rate of about 3 exahash. Now, you're thinking, how much is that really, right? So with 10,000, they're getting about 925. So if you do quick math, 925,000 divided by 10,000, you get 92.5 terahash. And if we go now, this is just speculation, of course, so we don't exactly know which company they're going with, but it's going to be between MicroBT and Bitmain. So the closest is, yeah, so the M30. So it'll be a combination of a few miners. So it could be the MicroBT M30S and then M30S Plus, or even the newer version, the M30S Plus Plus, or it could go down. But average 92.5 terahash. So yeah. And let's see. So they do have their own power plant, 60 megawatt, which was acquired recently, a few months back. And Northern Data will be responsible for supplying and maintaining the dedicated data center infrastructure. So this is also within their partnership, and the company will be utilizing renewable natural gas. Now, this is really important to state because Elon Musk recently tweeted right here that they'll suspend purchase using Bitcoin, and they're concerned with rapid increasing use of fossil fuel for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emission of any fuel. So, and also with the New York State ban, and going towards renewable energy. And the company states right here that they are using renewable natural gas, so not coal, but renewable natural gas, for the operation of their power plant, DigiFactory 1, which has 60 megawatt in power, and also engage in practicing of acquiring renewable energy certificate, all in line with the company's objective to mitigate its carbon footprint. So that's really good news. And the net revenue generated from BTC mining operation after paying DigiHost a very competitive power rate will be allocated between DigiHost and Northern Data according to the fixed distribution formula. So whatever they decide on for the profit sharing, the percentage, that's how it'll go for the hosting. And yeah, so it looks really good. There's potential of purchasing up to 30,000 miners. Now, I won't discount that because they are going into a hosting agreement, so there's definitely potential there to get that 30,000 miners, hopefully averaging 90 plus 90 plus terahash. Yeah, 90 plus terahash per second. So that will get them the most efficient miners that uses the least electricity and the most power output. So that's what we want to do. And they currently have some miners that are not that efficient, so hopefully they phase out the old ones and replace them with these new ones that are really efficient. So yeah. So Michael Amar, the company CEO, states that we are extremely pleased with the significant transaction between DigiHost and Northern Data to acquire approximately 10,000 new BTC miners with over 925 petahash of hashing power, as well as the hosting agreement, which will allow us to benefit from Northern Data's best-in-class HPC technology and services, as well as securing access to miners in the current sold-out market environment. So with the chip shortage and with the increase in BTC price with this current cycle, so obviously there's a lot of demand and not so much supply, with the chip shortage as well playing a part in this supply-demand shortage. So, and also the miners are also becoming more expensive because there's less supply and there's way more demand. So obviously that curve will yield in higher price for these miners. So that's economics 101 for you there, supply and demand. So yeah, let's see. Accelerating the company's combined hash rate to more than 1.145 exahash by the end of this year, which could result in approximately $80 million of operating profit in 2022 based on current Bitcoin metrics. Now, of course, Bitcoin price by then hopefully will be above 100K. So with this current bull cycle, we should be above 100K by next year. So they'll be profiting way more than that. So, and is a significant accomplishment for DigiHost as we continue to evolve as a leader in the cryptocurrency mining sector. So this company, since I've invested, like these guys are so good. Like every month they release how much they mined and their profit, their cost for BTC mining. Now, obviously, it's going to go down once these miners are installed. So, yeah. Let's refresh this, and wow, it jumped up to 48% now. So you can see, DigiHost is not a company that will shy away from these huge growth. So, if you've been investing since February, you realize this company can jump up more than 100% in one day, and it has happened. So this is nothing new for me to witness this with this company. So you just have to have patience, and and pretty much dollar cost average, just average down if you can. So my not investing in this when it's down is mainly because I'm lacking cash right now to put in here. So it's not that I'm less bullish. It's just I don't have enough cash right now to put in here. So so I could be eating rice and beans, but these companies, like in the short term, without this movement, like let's just look at the 5-day prior to yesterday's news on their mining update. They were looking pretty low, 114. It dropped because obviously Bitcoin price and the market instability, and then the New York State ban, which I'll discuss after this. It went down all the way down to 114. So if I had put more money in, then my average cost would have gone down to maybe 1.5. And yeah, so depends on how much money you're willing to invest. But even before it going all the way down, I was up. I think in this challenge video, I was doing. Let's look at my cost. Yeah, so I'm down 183. So you can see my cost was above $1,000. And if you look here, I just want to show you how bullish I was on DigiHost. So if you look right here, the cost, it's the biggest cost among all the companies that I've invested in here. The next one is Hut, Hive, and we have Bitfarms. So you see how bullish I was in DigiHost before the drop. And if I had invested more money in the drop, then I could have been way up. Now I would have been in the positive, but right now at minus 16. And today I'm up $260. This is just 15 minutes delay still at 42%. So I want to show you how bullish I was in this company before the update that they just did. So I'm totally transparent in my investment on this challenge. I'm doing a 100K challenge. So if you're interested in following the challenge, I update every week, every trading day. So not like other YouTubers, just saying what they're invested in. They don't really show what they're invested in and their activity. So you can see my last purchase of DigiHost was in April 16. I only bought $6 because I was investing in DMG and Banksa. So, all right, that's besides the point. And let's get into the New York State ban. Now, I want to preface by saying that this is a Bitcoin magazine, so there might be some points that are favorable for Bitcoin mining, but overall, it's really good points, and I just want to share that with you, and you can form your own opinion and do your own research. So New York's misguided legislation to pause Bitcoin mining won't stop the industry, of course. Let's see here. Legislation under consideration in New York to stop Bitcoin mining over environmental concerns won't stop an increasingly green industry. So recently, a bill currently in committee in the New York State Senate is calling for a ban on Bitcoin mining for 3 years while an environmental assessment is conducted to measure greenhouse gas emission and effect on wildlife of all mining operations in the state. Now they're doing this because there's been an increase in mining in New York State, and of course they're concerned because they have to meet certain quota of greenhouse emission and pretty much the renewable energy sector. They have a quota by this date. I think it's like 2030 or 2040. So they have to be lower than that. So that's why they're trying to push for. They're targeting Bitcoin mining because it's using a lot of energy, which I agree. It's using a lot of energy. So let's see what they have to say, right? So this bill S6486, introduced by Democratic State Senator Kevin Parker and co-sponsored by Democratic State Senator Rachel May, is currently under review by Senate's Environmental Conservation Committee. And on reports about the bill called Bitcoin miners Bitcoin hungry profiteers, and noted that upstate New York has recently become a hotbed of mining activity, and there could be more mines in the work. So Foundry Digital is another Bitcoin, I believe it's a Bitcoin miner as well. So a subsidiary of DCG has mining operations in near Rochester, New York, and helps finance other New York-based mining ventures. Okay, so they do financing as well. So I don't want to read everything here, but I'll just try to focus on the main points. So decentralized infrastructure as the way of the future, obviously. Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining are not going anywhere. Hell no. It's pretty much here to say the mass adoption is at market cap is currently at $2.2 trillion and at a high of $2.5 trillion recently. So you can say it's not going anywhere. So the communities, countries, and states that understand and grasp the advantage of this infrastructure first will have a long-term competitive advantage. States such as Texas, Kentucky are encouraging the growth of this industry, given that Bitcoin mining is very mobile. Miners will move to where there are. So obviously, with the recent news of the New York State ban, some people created FUD and just sold off DigiHost. That's why it came all the way down to $118 per share. So just want to clarify that with Bitcoin mining, it's not landlocked, that it's not like a gold mine where they can only mine in that specific area. They can move anywhere in the world that has cheap renewable energy. I want to emphasize renewable, because they're going to be using so much energy that these Bitcoin miners are always searching for cheaper and renewable source of energy. If you look at Bitfarms, they have, let's see. So if you look at bitfarms.com, they're mining in Quebec. And Quebec has some of the cheapest energy in Canada, pretty much, because their most supply of energy for lighting comes from hydroelectricity. So let's look at how their miners or operations is run in their warehouses, or where they get their energy from. So hydroelectricity. It is the cheapest form of power, and it is the most renewable, and pretty much, other than maybe solar, it's one of the cheapest and safest and cheapest and renewable form of electricity. And very, very environmentally friendly sources of power. So, and I don't think New York's the senators realize that when Bitcoin mining happens in their state, these companies are actively looking for cheaper and renewable energy, so their infrastructure will be improved because of these miners coming into their state. They'll be looking for cheap because they want to make the most money, and they also want to be environmentally friendly because they're using so much power. Their total energy usage of to mine Bitcoin, or just in the Bitcoin space, overall globally, powers countries and big states in the U.S. So they're using huge amounts of power. So let's look at the factual inaccuracies with the bill. So right, with that bill, so a single cryptocurrency transaction uses the same amount of energy and that an average American household uses in 1 month, with an estimated level of global energy usage equivalent to that of a country of Sweden. So, yeah, like I was saying. So, and it is reasonable to believe the associated greenhouse gas emission would irreparably harm compliance with the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act in contravention of state law. But, okay, I'm not going to say this name, but a mining consultant with MetaMesh.com told BTC Magazine that these assertions are not based on facts. Obviously, this flawed legislation includes erroneous assumption regarding energy uses and transaction. It states one Bitcoin transaction consumes as much energy as one household. She said, while the bill is not surprising, it does a disservice to the mining industry if it's based on misinformation and about how Bitcoin works. The perception that all Bitcoin mining is environmentally bad needs to be shifted. Right, like I showed you with the example of Bitfarms. And Hive and DigiHOST and Hut 8 mining, they're all using environmentally friendly and safer options. So, form of energy. So we'll take it from here. Okay. So the mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, describes the bill as a step in the wrong direction. Like I was saying, with Bitcoin miners in the state, they're using a lot of energy, but they are also introducing renewable energy if the state is lacking in that area. And I'm pretty sure most of the states are not up to the standards that they would have to meet that quota for environmentally friendly and moving towards greener options. So, as you recently saw with the recent Texas blackout that happened, so yeah, definitely want to focus on their power grid and improve it. So the mayor says that Miami can mine Bitcoin with clean nuclear energy. We want to be the crypto mining capital of the world. So that's great. Meanwhile, more jurisdictions like Kentucky are seeing a growing market for their stranded energy and are offering incentives like tax deduction and subsidized energy costs. So Kentucky is literally looking for companies to come and give them tax deduction and all that incentives so they can mine there. So this also says that savvy jurisdictions see that the world is shifting, noted Grabowski. Wyoming, Texas, Kentucky, and Miami see the potential for economic development and are putting in supportive policy frameworks to attract Bitcoin companies, including miners. So that's great. I think this is the last part, so bear with me. So Bitcoin miners will continue to operate in New York. So it says Greenwich Power, based in Dresden, New York, which sells power to the grid and also mines Bitcoin, recently converted a coal-fired power plant to natural gas to reduce emission. So that was the focus, to reduce and eliminate coal usage, which is not that great for the environment. So they're shifting to natural gas, reusable. So according to the recent report, Greenwich Power is planning to expand its facility, a renovation that has already been approved by the New York government. So this was already approved by the New York government, and I don't know, like, why are they trying to cut that out? So let's see. And it's clear from other recent development that Bitcoin miners in general are going to move forward in their industry in ways that promote green energy, of course. So states that are lacking in green energy and using coal and all that bad stuff, they're going to shift to green energy, because Bitcoin miners, they don't want to use that. They want to use renewable and cheaper electricity. So they're going to focus more on that. So for instance, 9point recently announced plans to offset the carbon footprint of its Bitcoin exchange traded fund. And Square has released a white paper explaining how Bitcoin mining can drive widespread adoption of renewables. Great. So they're literally showing states, people out there in power, how Bitcoin mining and just Bitcoin and crypto in general will improve their infrastructure and increase the widespread of adoption of renewables. So yeah, and offsetting carbon footprint too. So that part, if they're part of maybe a little bit of source of energy that's not great for the environment, they could obviously do the carbon footprint offset. So yeah, Brad Yassar, a Bitcoin miner based in California, has said that he is fully in favor of green mining, but thinks there is a double standard when it comes to judging which industry are environmentally harmful. So of course, Bitcoin is kind of in the spotlight right now. So Bitcoin is getting all the critics and out there just saying that it's harmful and doing this, but there are obviously other industries like gold miners and pretty much other miners. So there's definitely double standard in terms of being environmentally friendly. So I think where I may differ in opinion and approach is, let's look at other industries and other activities that are consuming industrial level and scale of electricity and energy, and see if we can have a global and a cross-board approach, as opposed to saying Bitcoin is horrible for humanity and should be destroyed, he said. Yeah, so we're definitely getting a lot of negative energy, negative press. So currently it's at 50K, but yeah. So you can check out this article here, Bitcoin Magazine. I think it was pretty informative, and definitely with DigiHost, mining in upstate New York doesn't mean that they can't move to maybe Miami or Texas. It's not landlocked, so definitely you want to consider that. Alright, so it's at 40%, so definitely looking great. Alright, I think this is going to be way too long, so thank you for watching. Hopefully this was informative. In some ways you took away some knowledge from here, and please feel free to like and subscribe. Always do your research, fact check, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.